and welcome to the Elements of Improv. I'm Andy.
I'm Karen.
And we're Defiant Monkey Improv. And we're here doing a series of short videos about different elements of improv, hence the name. Today we're going to be doing a video about... Actually, we are doing a video about...
We're going to.
Here
it is.
We decided to do it. We're doing a video about suggestions. How to get them and how to use them.
There's some tips to improve your suggestion getting and suggestion using.
Let's talk about some. Let's talk first about how to get suggestions.
There are, three main ways. The whole audience, a section of audience, one person.
Now, Karen, is there a danger when you try to get suggestions from the whole audience?
Yes, there is.
And what might that be?
Oh, depending on your venue. We saw this very specifically when we were going to an improv festival we haven't been to. So we looked it up online to see what other groups were there, who was performing, what the venue looked like. And every single troupe, they were lucky enough to have the videos all up. Every single troupe, one after the other, asked the entire audience for their suggestion. It's like, what's your major? And it was at a college. So the audience goes, and every time they'd have to wait and go, what? What? I'm sorry, you didn't get what? Finally, like women's studies.
I think I heard that.
So we learned this and said, we can't ask the whole audience. The place is too big. Some places are too echoey. Some places are just have too many people. So when we got there, I left Andy on stage and I went into the audience and asked a specific section or one person the suggestion. Now, sometimes you're in a venue where you could ask the whole crowd and you could hear it fine, but not everyone. So if this is a festival tip, if you're there, make sure you, look it up ahead of time if you can, or at least watch who's coming before you, and maybe you can get a feel for it. And then you see, how do I get down off the stage and get back again? So check it out.
Yeah, because we've seen people take a couple of minutes trying to get one suggestion.
It was such a waste of time.
And it seemed at the end that they just picked a suggestion themselves and said, oh, okay, tugboat.
Yeah.
There.
And then people get mad. I didn't say that. It's like,
no.
Nobody did.
Another thing you can do if you're looking for... let's say your suggestion, you want a job. So you can say, what's a cool job to have? And let it real go, astronaut. Or you could do something that we call a reverse offering. You can say, who here thinks they have the coolest job? Now note what I'm doing. Raising my hand. This is something we actually learned from doing school shows. Model the behavior you want.
Raise your hand quietly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you say, who thinks they have the coolest job? People are going to raise their hands if they think they have a cool job. And if you get to somebody and it's like,
I'm customer service.
Oh, all right. Now, who thinks they might have a job that's cooler than that one?
Well,
and you can make it almost a kind of a competition.
I'm a toe surgeon.
I thought you were going to say a toaster.
I'm a toaster.
I'm an automatic pop-up toaster.
So you can... make it, what you said.
Play around with it a little bit. And also, and I know that there are some groups that pride themselves on doing this, but it doesn't always make for the best suggestions. Don't feel you have to take the first suggestion that comes out.
Especially if you've gotten it before.
By all means, you can say, we'll take the first one we hear. But if a bunch of them come out at one time and one sounds more interesting than the others, I heard this one over here, clearly.
Yeah. Or you can, I've said before, like, we just had it. So I can say, you know what? That's really weird. We just had it. And you can give the person another chance if they want to, but don't give that too much pressure. It's like, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But we just got it. That's how we know it's good.
Yes.
Or you could engineer it. If you don't want something, engineer it so you don't get it. And one of the ways is to use it, for example, like for kids shows all the time. I need the suggestion of a fairy tale, like Rapunzel or Rumpelstiltskin, because I'm sick and tired of those two.
You can also say, besides skydiving, what's a dangerous hobby?
Yeah, because you will get skydiving every time.
Oh, yeah.
Something you're afraid to try, skydiving. So we use it as the example, besides skydiving. And that way, if the person says skydiving, you're like, that was my example. And you can feel free to ignore them. Some of my favorite suggestion ask fors are things that are personal to people. I like those. That's my preference. Even if it's a fantasy thing, like the college major you would have right now if you could go back to college. Or one of your favorites, where you could pick a specific person. Usually we pick an older lady and say, what's the manliest thing you've ever done? Which is, sometimes it's not that manly, but it's the manliest thing that person has ever done, which is really, it's amusing. So they have to think about it, but you could put a little bit more pressure than you think on a single person. So
if they start to cry, stop.
Yeah. But if you have a regular audience, you could put more than you think with a fun, specific question that anybody can answer, because everybody's got a manliest thing they've ever done.
And if you get a personalized suggestion like that, it increases the buy-in of the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more their show.
That's why I like
that.
So instead of just an occupation, it's like, what was your first job? Or what was the job your grandfather had? And that one, I would open it to the whole audience. Like if it was one person, I might say, have you ever had a job? And they're like, yeah. What was your first job? So then I could do that. But if I'm like, what was your grandfather's job? And you're like, I never knew my grandfather.
you're not going to get an entire audience yelling out an answer all at once.
Yeah.
Either.
So you can ask a larger section or the whole audience. Yeah. That one, because some of them will be sitting there thinking about it, and then by then someone will yell it.
Heart surgeon.
Working on the trains guy.
Hobo. Also, when you are deciding on what suggestion to either ask for, which is another term for suggestions, by the way, ask fors, you'll hear them that way as well.
You knew that.
If you if it's a scene that doesn't need a complex one, like it just needs an occupation or something like that, then ask for it that way.
Yeah, because if you're playing something like a new choice or what happens next, which things change very quickly in those games, you get a complicated suggestion, you are off it really fast, and it'll be disappointing. So save a slightly more complicated one for one where it will stick for the whole scene. So just when you're thinking about them, do that. So that's getting suggestions, Andy.
Yes.
What about using suggestions? Any tips?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, Karen, there are. When you get a suggestion, like for instance, if you're doing a show in October, and you say, hey, what's the coolest Halloween costume you ever had? And someone says,
robot!
All right. Then the scene is going to be about robot. Not robot Halloween costume, robot.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you've kind of engineered it to be a scene about Halloween in your question.
Yeah, you've taken up half the suggestion yourself. And I mean, you can feel free to explain it to the audience. And it could be very brief. My suggestion is robot. I mean, you can do a cool scene about a Halloween costume that's a robot, but you've made that part up yourself. So it's not about the question you asked, it's about the answer. The question is just to get them to think differently.
Also, when you get a suggestion, you don't have to be uber literal about it. Like, I don't know how many times we've all heard the suggestion, factory. And what is what do so many people do? Hey, Frank, it's a tough day here. We got so much work to get through.
I've got a hard hat.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. But
actually, we've started there too. It was a Guinness factory, but we needed to start there because of the kind of game it was.
Yeah, it was Meanwhile Elsewhere, so we knew we were going to be jumping to a bunch of different locations, and we wouldn't be stuck in the factory.
You can do that, but you don't have to start right there.
No.
And usually, wherever your brain goes first, wait a second and go to where it goes second.
And that's an interesting workshop practice jam exercise, is to ask for a suggestion, and then someone says factory, okay, and then go, what could you do with that scene? So you can use factory and work in a factory, or you can build a scene where factory is an element in it, but not the main element.
And also, speaking of which, the accidental, I missed the suggestion.
Oh,
because
yeah.
You get so excited, you hear the suggestion. This happens especially when you get a title.
Yeah.
And you get so excited, and off it goes. And if you wait too long to work it in, you will just forget it.
You'll see one actor going. It's usually me, and I'm trying to remember what the title was. It's like, I'm sure it had a crow in it or something.
Yeah. And here's the crow, like halfway through.
Yeah, so
if you're lucky.
I mean, don't use it right away, or it'll just be obvious that you're using it to get it out of the way. But don't wait so long that you forget it, because we've done it, and I imagine all of us have done it at one point or another.
If you're really, if it was a great scene, people will forgive you.
Yeah.
But you might kick yourself after. It's like, oh yeah, I was supposed to have a broomstick.
And sometimes when that's happened to us, we'll end the scene and we'll go, oh, hey, I forgot to use that broomstick.
Yeah.
And the audience will understand because you didn't try to hide it or anything.
No, or you could explain how you got off there. Well, broomstick made me think of this, therefore I went here and forgot the broomstick.
All right, so to summarize, suggestions, get them, use them.
Yep.
That's it. All right, well.
Are we going to give them a bonus?
Oh.
Are we?
We are, actually. We'll give you a bonus if you give us a bonus. I'm going to put up a link under the in the description of the video that will have a spot for you to join the Improvisers Club. This is a mailing list where we'll be sending out information about our upcoming books and blog posts and things like that. We promise we will not inundate you with email. I can't stand it when people do that, so you'll get 1, maybe 2 a month. So you sign up for that, and we will give you a link to the Defiant Monkey Improv Awesome Ask For list. There's close to 300, over 250 different ask fors on there. Yeah, we
keep adding. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
but we
there's
keep
like
adding.
258 on it right now. And there's a bunch more that we have to finish putting on there so I can put up the PDF of this. But you are welcome to join the Improvisers Club and download that and print it out. It's only a few pages long, 8 pages long.
It's a combination of ones that we use, ones that we've made up, and also cultivated from lists. There's some that we don't use, but other people might, so that's why we got so many of them. We categorized them, and so they're gathered from all kinds of sources all together.
Categorized.
Yep.
People, places, activities,
holidays,
things like that, all sorts of fun stuff.
And a fun thing that I do with it is, for a couple of shows, I just put I said, give me a number between this one and this one. If I wanted an occupation, like between these two numbers, and I got that question, and I randomly chose the suggestion too, which was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
Because there's some weird ones on there. It's cool.
So keep up with Defiant Monkey Improv news and get your hands on the Awesome Ask For list.
Oh, yeah.
Do it before your friends do. because you're cooler than they are.
Yeah.
I'm Andy.
I'm Karen.
And as always, we're Defiant Monkey Improv. Thank you for watching. Also, there will be a box that shows up here that has related video that you might want to watch. There will be something over in this area so you can subscribe to our channel and you'll be alerted when new videos come up. The Elements of Improv will be coming up once a week, every Thursday. So we hope to see you there. And if you have any questions or tips or comments or anything like that,
favorite suggestions or other tips about suggestions,
you put a favorite suggestion down there in the comments. We'll put it up on our Ask For list.
Yeah, and if has anybody said what I should do with my hands?
No.
I'm still trying to figure that out, so
Keep
if
it
anybody
clean.
wants to know.
So,
yeah.
We will see you next week here on the Elements of Improv. Thanks for watching and happy improvising.